Welcome to iLearn by MDS New Tech for You. This is a unique program to you to know more about one specific topic. So each week we select a topic and give you the presentation regarding that one and which give you the more knowledge on that topic. So this week we select ozone acidification. Ozone acidification is one of the big problem was going on in environmental field. Definitely this PPT will give you the more knowledge regarding ozone acidification and what is the history of ozone acidification and what will happen in near future, and it will give the results data with pictorial representation, so which will help you to better understand the concept of ozone acidification. So stay tuned on this video to get the more knowledge on ozone acidification from upcoming slides. Ocean acidification. The term ocean acidification was formed by the combination of two words. One is ocean, another one is acidification. The word ocean defined as the place where huge amount of water was stagnated, while the word acidification was termed as the thing is being acidified. So in this keynote I wish to cover the introduction to ocean acidification process, carbon dioxide cycle in ozone, timeline on ozone acidification, impact of ozone acidification, and what's our response to this ozone acidification. First of all, before dive into this lecture, I wish to introduce the history of ozone acidification, so which help us to know more about the original source or cause of this problem. So the ozone is one of the key elements which play a main role to stabilize the acidity level of the earth for millions of years. But this ancient stability of acidity level was undone by the rapid drop in surface pH. So here what's happened? It was undone because of a huge quantity of carbon dioxide which was dumped by us into the atmosphere. So after the industrial revolution, which considers 1880s, we utilize fossil fuel as a main power source for power up our vehicles, so which emit a huge quantity of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. So billion tons of carbon dioxide was dumped into the atmosphere, especially as per the study it says the carbon dioxide concentration was increased from 280 ppm to 400 ppm. So here you may get the idea how much amount of carbon dioxide was increased while we compare it with the pre-industrial revolution. So which caused 0.8 degrees Celsius increment of mean global temperature as well as 0.7 degrees Celsius increment of ozone temperature. This is a very important impact was caused by the dumping of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. During the recent study, which was discovered a new thing by the scientist, that is nothing but the oceans and other water bodies just suck up this carbon dioxide into their dump. So this discoveries make a big happy to the scientist, because carbon dioxide is one of the biggest problem in the field of pollution control, and we are always searching for the solution to reduce those and the carbon dioxide as well as dispose of carbon dioxide. So this sounds like good, the water itself absorbs the carbon dioxide, but the thing is, after some other research studies shows the negative impact of this dumping of carbon dioxide into the ocean. So as per the studies, is estimated that 30 to 40% of carbon dioxide which was released by us to the atmosphere just dissolved in the ocean, river and lakes. So what is the negative impact accelerated by this dumping of carbon dioxide into the ocean? We will see these impacts in our upcoming slides. And before that, here we have a small point in our mind, that is whether it slowed down the climate change. Yes, obviously it slowed down the climate change, but knowingly or unknowingly it already slowed down the climate change. So if this hero is not there between us and CO2, then the climate change will be higher than that of our current situation. So before going to the deep in this ocean, I would like to journey with these questions: what, why, and where. So what is ocean acidification, why we need to think of it, and where it's occurring. So these three questions answer will give the elaborate details regarding this biggest issue which was occur in our lifetime. So what is ocean acidification? As per the definition, when carbon dioxide, the CO2, is absorbed by the seawater, the chemical reaction occur that reduces seawater pH, carbonate ion concentration, and saturation state of biologically important calcium carbonate minerals. So these chemical reactions are termed ocean acidification, or OA as a short. So this big sentence make our mind shuffle. So leave it and get this a simple definition for ocean acidification. Because of dumping carbon dioxide into the water, that carbon dioxide was reacted with the sea water, which reduced the pH of seawater as well as carbonate ion concentration. So that is called ocean acidification. So why it's so important? This question is very important here, because while we got the answer for this question, then only we realized the importance of this problem to be addressed. At first, I already says the calcium carbonate concentration was reduced due to this ocean acidification. So what is the need of calcium carbonate? These calcium carbonates minerals are one of the key mineral which build the black scolamine cells of the marine organism which was living in ocean. So if the calcium carbonates was reduced, then it will directly affect. And also the increasing acidity level in the ocean lead to a big change in the living creatures within the ocean, and definitely will directly affect the food chain of the ocean ecology. So even it will affect our food system itself, because we also depend on the ocean for our food requirements. And similarly, the increasing acidity directly affect the basic body function of the marine animals, even the cells and skins of those animals. So even whether it's a scald or not. So don't think that the animals which record calcium carbonate only affect. Not like that. The animals which does not record calcium carbonate also affect due to the increasing acidity level in the ocean. Then where it's occurring? This question where it's occurring makes sense, because whatever happen in our world, we don't bother about those things until it's happened in our doorstep. So I just put this question in this slide, so it will give us to take our action as far as fast as possible. At first, normally the pollutions are classified into two problems. One is global one, another one is local. The local one, for example, the acidity rain is classified as a local problem, which can be defined as the problem which cause damage to a particular region on the local area. For example, the acidity rain itself, it causes a problem on a particular local area. It will not directly pollute the huge area of the globe. It will not. It cannot spread that much speed. But while considering the air pollution, it's a global problem. It can spread rapid speed with utilization of the speed of the air, so that the air pollution is considered as a global problem. So here I want to remind you that the ocean acidification was occurred due to the dumping of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. So easily we can say the air pollution is the mother of ocean acidification. While the mother, air pollution, is the global problem, definitely the child, ocean acidification, also the global problem. So while we are speaking about ocean acidification, the term ocean make us to think that this only make a big effect in ozone areas, ozone ecology as well as the coral ecosystem. Don't think like that. It will not only affect the ocean, it affect the whole planetary, because we are deeply influenced with the planetary ecosystem, which was fully influenced due to the ozonic ecosystem. We are requirement of food from the ozone, and there is a deep connection between us as well as the ocean. So any effects caused in the ocean lead to the big change in the global society of the world. This is the things was happening here. You just see, that's why I am saying the reduction of carbonate ions also occur due to the ozone acidification, because this carbonate ions is one of the key element for this process. And this picture will represent the original impact of this ozone acidification in the ozone ozone acidification in the marine animals. You just see the original skull of a normal marine animal, which was converted into the white, and then it's totally damaged. So thus much effect it can cause in the normal marine animals. So this is a CO2 cycle in the ozone, and this will give you the elaborate value and how the pH was reduced in the time period, and how the carbon dioxide was emission was still grow in day-to-day life. Due to that, the pH was reduced. Even the temperature, you just see how much increment is there while we compare it to 0 to the 100. This is the thing, because even we make awareness towards the people, but still now we emit a huge amount of carbon dioxide while we compare it to the past days. That's why the carbon dioxide emission is always in upper arrow, and due to that you just see how much incremental of temperature was happening here. So this is a timeline on the ozone acidification. First one represent the pH variations between 1885 to 2094. You just see there is a slight change in the ocean color. You can see there. Yeah, there is a big change is there. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, don't think that there is a small change, a small drop in pH. Likewise, even a 0.1 drop in pH lead to the big impact in our society, in our ecosystem. But it was totally damaged our total ecosystem. So here you just see the ozone pH and organic saturation rate state between 1885 to 2094. Here the organics is one of the key element which was usually utilized to determine the effect of anything affect the ozone life. That's why we are take the organic as a key element. Here you just see how much huge impact was happened due to this ozone acidification within this 200 years. So in this slide I just show you the pH variations over the time period. During 1880s the pH is around 8.179, which was dropped to 8.104 at 1990s, and now it's around 8.069. So as per the prediction, in 2015 it will be 7.949, and in 2100 7.824. If we don't take any step against this emission of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, then obviously 126.5 percentage increment will happen in near future of 2100. Though this will be totally expressed in this small clip. You just see how much impact will happen in the pH. A huge dropout of 800 until the 2100 in pH. This is the original impact was happened due to this thing. How much impact is happening there in millions of years and until the present. These are some of the facts of ozone acidification. First of all, the 24 million tons of carbon dioxide was observed by the ozone each day. So this acidification rate was 10 times faster than any other time in the 55 million years. So this is a very huge rate we got in the ozone acidification. So there is a 26% incremental of ozone acidity level while we compare the current data with the pre-industrial level data. So this is obviously very huge thing to consider. Likewise, you just see there is a 40 percentage increase in atmosphere carbon dioxide level since the start of industrial revolution, and if it's continue without any necessary step against this misuse of resource as well as dumping of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, it's projected that 170 percentage increment will be achieved in 2100 in the field of ozone acidity. So we need to take some steps against this before it's leave our hand. There is a big question in front of us, that is, if dissolving carbon dioxide reaches saturation limit, then what will happen? Obviously this is a quite tricky question. Yeah, so before go to this question or finding the answer for this question, we need to know what is saturation limit. This is very important. For getting definition of saturation limit, I wish to remind you one of the school day experiment. It's nothing but sugar with water mix up experiment. So in our school days you may come across this small experiment that mixing of sugar into the cup of water, and we make thoroughly mix up with it. So what will happen? Sugar will completely dissolve in the water and we cannot see it with our naked eye, but we can taste it obviously. Okay, then we add another 1 teaspoon of sugar into the same water. What happened? And we just mix it, then definitely it also dissolved. Whether the sugar dissolved, even we put a kilo of sugar into the water, is it possible? No, it's not possible. At certain point the sugar cannot dissolve in the water because it has its own limit. Beyond the limit there is no more possibility of mixing of sugar into the water. So that is called the saturation limit. So beyond saturation limit there is no way of mixing the same element in the same liquid. So similarly, each element has its own saturation limit with its liquid element. So likewise the carbon dioxide itself has its own saturation limit with water. Beyond that limit there is no more possibility of mixing of carbon dioxide into the water. So this is the question. So during our introduction slide I just said that knowingly or unknowingly ozone help already us from this big villain. So here, if ozone stop consuming carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, then what happen? Then only we see the original phase of carbon dioxide impact in our environment. Yeah, now we are just to see the reduced phase of the carbon dioxide impact over the time period. If ozone was left the battle, then the attack by the global warming will be doubled, or it maybe goes more than that. So as per the study, the solubility of carbon dioxide in the water is around 1.46 gram at per liter at 25 degrees Celsius. So it's our time to make our any favorable decision for environment before it's leave our hand. So in this slide we see about the major impacts caused by the ozone acidification. So first of all, it affects the ozonic classifying organisms because the degradation of HCO3 minus R3 minus, and obviously it make a severe effect either directly or indirectly through the negative impact on the food resource, and it may alter the acoustic properties of sea water by increasing the ozonic noise, So oceanic noise cause a big effect on their communication. For example, dolphins are always communicate with each other with the utilization of sound, so which was make a big barrier between their communication due to the increasing ozonic noise, and also it lead to declining the commercial fisheries. And even the popular question, what's happen if after this it reach the saturation limit? Obviously, the climate change will boost up without any restriction, and we need to face the original phase of the climate change, and our predictions will fail because it will be quite enormous than what we thought about the global warming, and more number of possible impacts also there, because we are in the preliminary study on this ocean acidification. Sea urines, corals, plankton, and the clownfish, turtles, and the shellfish due to this thing. So, what's our response? This is one of the important question. First of all, we need to reduce the carbon dioxide emission by possible way. So while I am saying this thing, so you may say, don't say it to us. You can say it to the big companies where they are responsible for the carbon dioxide. Yeah, obviously, they are the main cause of the huge amount of carbon dioxide. But as far as reduction of carbon dioxide by the individual, it may be the small drop now, but it may become a big ocean in future, and even it make a big change in other mentalities. So that I am saying that all the peoples, us, we need to join our hands to make possible way to reduce the carbon dioxide as much as possible. Second, very important thing, we need to make awareness to the other people to more about this crucial villain. So we need to defeat before it attain its original power, and we need a lot of research work. That's only make we get our more data on this on this problem, as well as the possible way of reduce the dissolving carbon dioxide, and possible way of uh, defend ourselves from this crucial problem. And I will show you two of the very important research work which I already did. First of all, one is the carbonic acid extraction from the sea water. It also considers one of the uh, a good way to reduce the dissolved carbon dioxide from the water. So what this says, we can extract the carbonic acid from the sea water and utilize this as a synthetic fuel, which obviously reduce the dissolved carbon dioxide from the sea water. Obviously, we can make a ion fertilization in the ocean, which lead to increase photosynthesis in the phytoplankton. So this phytoplankton is the plant which is responsible to convert carbon dioxide, this dissolved carbon dioxide, into the carbohydrate and the oxygen gas. So obviously this is a very much helpful for us to remove the dissolved carbon dioxide from the sea. So I just made this reference for my making of this PPT. So we will these things will be quite useful for you to get no more knowledge on this ocean acidification, and you can get more data and live results from these websites, especially the oceanacidification.noaa.government website. The oceanacidification.net is one of the very important one on this thing. And you can get more materials from University of Queensland and pmel.noaa.government. So these are the one of the very important sites, very key sites in this reference. So you can take a look at it. So I just end my slide so with this small question posted by the small fish. Give me my well back. I don't know how we made the thing, but it's our duty to reduce the pollution as much as possible and make this well good for the living. Yeah, we can realize the resource of the earth, but we should not waste it. uh, that's one of the very important thing. So stay tuned with the MDS New Tech for You Island program to get more number of PPTs and um, other lectures, so you get more knowledge on each topic in each week. So our main motto is a gateway to knowledge by Island. So you can download this PPT and video from newtech4u.wordpress.com, as well as you can download it from carespacenvironment.weebly.com. So you can connect with us in Facebook, the newtech4u is the page. So thank you very much for spend your valuable time with us. So feel free to post your comments regarding this video and PPT, which really help us to improve uh, our upcoming slides as well as videos. So please post your comments. Once again, thank you very much.